Pro Boxing fans here with Dean Whyte. Dean, we're here in Wembley for Adam Azim versus Reyes. But you know, you hear all these events. First of all, how are you? How's things? How's life?
Yeah, all good, man. Life is okay, man. We're just here, you know what I'm saying? We're busy. We got a show Saturday also, and it's a busy and packed show. So, you know.
Just talk to me about your schedule, the schedule with your boxing shows going forward.
We got a lot of shows booked in. We got Saturday coming, and we got March the 12th, Commonwealth title on there. Then, April the 15th, we've got IBF International Commonwealth. Trying to see if I can get a Southern area as well. We're still working on the last two, but the IBF's been sanctioned, and it's good times, man. You know what I mean? And then we got May the 7th, June the 10th, and end of July. And then I'm going to take a break, man, a well-deserved break.
100%, yeah, the boxing game's hard, man, and you told me that before.
Listen, you know what, a bit of more than I could chew, but you know what it is? I needed something to challenge and occupy my time. Obviously, things were going on, and they're still going on. It's a long process, but I just wanted to be busy, so I didn't get distracted and from the path I'm going down, you know what I mean? So I needed to channel into that, and it's been helpful. The team we've got have been amazing as well, but it's a lot of work, you know, ordering multiple different tickets for different fights. It's all kind of the same time because they're 1 month after each other. So really, I need to actually order them all way in advance. But you know, I'm learning on the job. This was our first year, so now we're working, and it's good, man. Like I said, you know, God willing, it all continues to go as smooth as possible, and we continue to just kind of slowly build into some really good things. I just had a meeting just now which was very, very good. Potentially some good stuff coming down the line, and here to have another little meeting. It depends how long it all takes with these though. And then I could, you know, start stepping, you know, putting the pieces to the puzzle together, because the guys are building. We're getting into good numbers, so they're right now coming for Southern area, English, internationals, intercontinentals, whatever. You know what I mean? So it's a good time. It's a good time, and we, you know, not only myself, but the fighters deserve it, because they've been building and been in camp time after time and training and fighting and managed to get to this position. I don't even know how I fucked that up. Sorry about it. You know what I'm fucking talking about. Fucking knows that up.
Tank versus Garcia was a fight that looks like it's going to happen. There's a stumbling block right now. They're saying that the rematch with the first fight is going to be on Showtime. The rematch, if Ryan Garcia wins, it's going to be a rematch close. But Showtime wants it. They're saying that the winner should have it on his platform, because they're two different platforms, one on DAZN, one's on Showtime. Stumbling block. What do you make of these stumbling blocks? We want to see these big fights, but they're not happening.
In the past, you know, I remember this. Was that a one with, was it Tyson and Lennox Lewis in the past? That was the same. It's been throughout history that kind of thing has happened, you know. Hopefully it doesn't stumble or hold up the fight too much, but that's a good fight, and I don't think it's a foregone conclusion as everyone thinks. He has got speed, Garcia, and he can punch. So I know Tank's pretty good with his defence, and he's got tremendous. Anyone who sits in front of him and gets clubbed, you going? Yeah. Anyone who sits in front of him and gets clubbed, listen, he's like a wrecking ball, that kid. Yes, man. So it's going to be interesting, but I think it's a great fight. You know, a man is so fast and explosive, so it's interesting. I think it's not going to be as easy as maybe people. You know, people say, Tank all the way. I'm not so sure. But we haven't seen Garcia facing him. But what I have seen is, I know he went down against Luke Campbell, but then he got back up and he showed his ignorance, his spite, and you know what I mean? And he rectified it and went out there and got rid of him. And that was was he Olympian? Was he Luke Campbell? He got gold, didn't he? You know what I mean? And this is a man that's done great as an amateur and was, you know, touted as doing things. So I think obviously it's different caliber opponents. You're talking the Tank, but I mean, it's still an interesting fight. So I'm going to be looking forward to that.
I do want to talk about another fight in Saudi Arabia, February, one of these dates. Sorry, I've got my dates so mixed up. Jake Paul, Tommy Fury. Talk to me about that one.
Good fight. It's finally here. It's finally made. It's a fight we're going to be able to see where Tommy Fury is, because the guys he's faced previously have been awful, I must say. So I hope it's going to be a good fight. To be honest, I bought into a little bit more of this Jake Paul stuff, because I've watched him. He's training with elite trainers, elite fighters, elite professional ex-fighters, and he's living a life. You can't fault the man for living. He's built a whole ring in his house and a gym, and he's living a life as a fighter. So it's still a short time to download all that data and process it and put it out, but he's seeming to do good. Sometimes people are saying the fights are fixed. I don't know if the fights are fixed, but I'm interested to watch it and see what happens. If Tommy does do good, then we can start to see that, you know, he's a true Fury. And even his brother's unsure, because he said, look, if he fucking loses, we're leaving him in fucking Saudi. So who am I to fucking think he's going to win? You know what I mean? But look, I wish him all the best, because I've got nothing against them. The Fury's a, you know, decent family, Tyson's a good man, and the rest of them, so I wish them well. But I just think that hunger, that burning desire might be with him a little bit more, that Jake Paul, I don't know.
But then from there, KSI is obviously in this whole equation, and he wants this Jake Paul fight. That's the only fight he wants. They're saying that they're going to sell us Wembley Stadium, no problem.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't fucking be surprised. Don't rule them motherfuckers out.
Do you think that it'd get to this stage? Like,
Hell no. But listen, man, we got to roll with the times, man. Them boys, there's cleaning up. So, unfortunately, it's either get on the train or be left behind, unfortunately. The man is making waves, they're making that money, and they're fighting. One thing I know that KSI is not playing about, them man, my guys train him, and they push him to the absolute limit. And he comes in fucking shape, raring and ready to rock and roll. So, I mean, that's going to be an explosive fight. It'll probably be a huge fight. I wonder if it even gets to them numbers what Dillian and Tyson did, like 96 or 97,000, whatever it is. So, you know, but I mean, I think they'll do numbers, because they sold out the O2. But both of them together, and a stacked undercard with other, like, was it Salt Papi and them man there? Jeez, I think it'd be a mad thing still, you know. I need to commentate. Remember, hook me up, man, link me. I want to commentate on that, trust me.
Actually, talking about Salt Papi, I was speaking to Vidal Riley. I said, is there one fighter from them misfits now that you think could temper? And he was like, possibly Salt Papi. Salt Papi's got a bit of skills behind there.
And he's got good skills, man. One of my guys, Yusuf Kamari, Filipino connection with the other guy, and he was really talking about them, you know what I mean? So yeah, he was saying raving and talking about him. So yeah, I think he's meant to be someone that might do good, you know what I mean?
Do you want to move away to the other Fury, Tyson Fury? It looks like that Usyk fight is still in negotiations. They're saying that maybe a press conference will happen on the week of Jake Paul, Tommy Fury. Maybe that's going to all sign Saudi Arabia. Tony Bellew's talked about this fight. He's pushing towards Usyk winning this fight because he's got faster feet. He's saying initially I thought Fury would win the fight, bigger guy, stronger, but now I'm going for the quicker guy who's possibly going to run rings around Fury. Not them words, but you know, roughly. What do you think?
It's not happening. He's getting pinged all over the place. Belly's coming to get him. Trust me. Can't see it, man. Do you know what? Fury has got good footwork. See that style, that crunk style where they drag? It's angles, and you're stepping with your body and just pivoting and stuff. He's got what it takes to maneuver. I understand about the fast angle turning, but because of the weight of his body, and he likes to manipulate and lean and use his arm on people, forearms. I think this is that forearm thing what Chris Schubert was talking about. But this is what a lot of old school style people tend to use their arm to push people's head up and punch, or lean and push them down. I just don't see it. I can see him just keeping him long, manipulating him when he's in touch and hold, and control and move him and do stuff. It's a very good fight, don't get me wrong. If he pulled it off, I wouldn't be surprised, because he is born for this. Nearly 400 fights, amateur and pro, he's born for this. Do you know what I mean? So it's an interesting one, because, you know, talking about AJ losing to this man was born for this. He started boxing when he was 4 or 5. He come from some country in Ukraine, not much to do, lived the life, probably trained, swam, you know, fucking shit boxing, you know what I mean? So these guys, you know, when you have 300 and something fight, like I said to AJ, he's an overachiever. Maybe some people look at it like a wrong term, but he's an overachiever, because you got to understand, for him and someone like Dillian to be competing at the level with these guys who've gone Olympics, had 300 something fights. Dillian had something like 7 fights, and he's had 30 something fights pro. Joshua the same, he had about 40 fights, 50 fights, and then he's had nearly 30 fights pro. It's under 100 fights or under 80 fights, so both guys, it's insane. And you're competing with people that's had 400 fights. You know what I mean? Like when you was outside with your fancy car, what your parents bought you a toy or riding a fancy bike, that motherfucker was throwing stones in a pond. Then he was with his mates, let's race, let's go in the ocean, let's swim the channel. They fucking done that when he was 6 or 5. Then they came back and done the gymnastic pull-ups and they were doing different shit. You know them countries, they're trained from military style from youth. It's a whole different breed. Yes. Different breed of guys, those boys. So, you know what I mean?
Do want to move over to AJ then? You mentioned him a few times there. The fight with Franklin, Jermaine, it's been announced now. Yesterday it got announced officially. Dillian Whyte's had a say on it, and he said, listen, you know, it's BS, it's bullshit, because he was anticipating the fight with Anthony Joshua. He said, if that's the case, I shall have lost to Jermaine, I shall have lost to Franklin, and then just made that fight straight with AJ. Not happy about the whole situation, man.
Yeah, that's what I've seen out there. Seen that. I've not spoken to him about it, but I always thought there was a conversation that AJ would come back and then maybe face Dillian in the summer. So obviously it's a dangerous one, trying to face Dillian, coming off 2 defeats, potentially losing, and then there's obviously a precarious situation you're in, facing the barrel of 3 defeats. It's kind of nuts. So he needs to come back, regain confidence and build. And then obviously that fight with Dillian is potentially there, you know. I don't know, but that's what I thought it was going to be used as a yardstick, fight Franklin, and then he could maybe, you know, see if he's got it, if he still wants it, if he believes in himself, you know what I mean? So I don't know, but look, it's what it is. Dillian needs to now just try and get a fight, stay active, tick over until that fight comes or another bigger fight comes, and that's what I think.
So last two, if AJ wins his fights against Franklin, beats Dillian, you know, he's back in the top boys, within the top boys. But if he loses against Franklin, what happens to AJ?
It's a very lonely saloon, like I told you, man. You know, the Wild West, when you're in the saloon drinking by yourself, and then the real next cowboy comes in and goes, seems mighty dreary around here. Where's all the folks at? He'll be like that. He'll be at the bar by himself, you know, thinking, where did it all go wrong? But look, I wish him nothing but the best, and I think he's going to come back and he'll win in emphatic fashion. I understand Dillian had a hard fight with him, but styles make fights. So I think Joshua's style, pure boxing style, jabbing, double jabbing, that straight right down the pipe might cause a lot more trouble for Franklin. Dillian normally tends to jab, left body, left hook. So it's a different, you know what I mean? I felt Franklin left openings through the middle potentially, and Joshua might be able to exploit that, but we'll see. Like I said, he showed us all that he's tough, he's durable, he's fit, he can move, he can box, he's got speed. So it's all to play for, man, on April the 1st, and I hope we get an exciting fight, and he has a tough few rounds, but he manages to pull through, and then hopefully gets a great win, and then maybe looks at Dillian down the line, or maybe Wilder or whoever is out there that he chooses to fight.
I think it's only good for British boxing, for ourselves, for himself, that he carries on, so because
we must root and cheer and try and garner the confidence for him, because the boxing we've enjoyed and other people's benefit from him being the champion for so long and championing us in the UK has been phenomenal. Now Tyson Fury is flying the flag a little bit, but as a London boy, a man that I chat to and deal with, you know, I want to wish him well and that he comes back, because he's done an amazing job, you know what I mean?
Final one from myself. A lot of talk about Conor Benn over these last couple of months. There seems to be a statement soon to be out. We're still waiting on it. It's been a couple of weeks since we're hearing a statement's going to come out. It's supposed to make him clear to fight right now. But regardless of that, they're saying Eddie Hearn's pulling out opponents. One of the opponents that sort of stuck out a little bit, Manny Pacquiao.
I don't know, man. I don't even listen to it. I don't watch nothing Eddie says. You know, I don't listen to nothing he says. That's madness. Manny Pacquiao, good luck to them. You know, Conor's all right. I wish him well. Hopefully he does clear his head. I don't really listen to anything Eddie says, to be honest.
Dean, listen, it's always a pleasure. I know you've got a massive schedule, like you said, at the start of the year. But yeah, man, good luck with everything. This weekend, just tell people how they can tune in, where they can buy tickets, what can go.
Yeah, Saturday we'll be live on the YouTube, on the BlvckBox Global channel. Tune in. We still have tickets available. You can pay on the door. You can buy on the link, which I'll post later on. And just tune in, you know what I mean? So it's going to be a great night, great entertaining night. I think it'll be probably better than here tonight. And on Saturday we'll have a better vibe, good jerk chicken, good fights, good music and good people. And I'll be there, you know what I mean? So come down to support. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Dean. Thank you, bro.